Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Fizan Ali Software Wala and I'm a one student at Rehan School, Islamabad campus. So today I'm here with a new Maya. So our today's Maya topic is what's a powerful productivity hack can I try today? So let's start our today's Maya. First of all, call the Maya for some questions.
Hi, what's up?
Okay, so Maya, my first question from you is what does productivity truly mean to me? Please give me very interesting answer on this topic. So let's start and answer Maya and please.
Productivity isn't just about checking things off a to-do list. Honestly, that's the trap most people fall into. It's not about being busy, it's about creating actual value with your time and energy. For you, given how much you dive into everything from genetics to renewable energy to daily habits, productivity likely means something different than for someone else. I'd guess productivity for you is about finding the sweet spot where deep learning and meaningful action connect. You spend so much time seeking out complex information across fields most people wouldn't touch. So productivity for you isn't just getting through tasks, it's maximizing the return on that investment, actually applying what you learn to understanding your world better. It's probably about linking those dots too, seeing how things connect instead of staying inside one silo. What do you think? Does that ring true?
Okay, so
You
my
still
next
there?
question from you is do I focus more on being busy or being effective? So please give me very interesting answer on these topics. Let's start and answer my waiting for
The For you, this is almost unfair. You're already someone who gravitates toward diving deep, so you're naturally more inclined to effectiveness than most people are. What you really need to watch out for isn't being busy, it's getting caught in the research rabbit hole and never translating it into something tangible. It sounds harsh, maybe, but you can spend hours understanding every nuance of genetics or energy sources without actually using that knowledge in any way. Real productivity, effectiveness is when that deep dive transforms into something useful, a better understanding of your health, a thoughtful contribution to a conversation, even a clearer way of making decisions. So it's not that being busy is bad, it's that it needs to be purposeful, directed by those moments where understanding clicks into doing. That makes sense?
Okay, so my next
You
question from
okay?
you
Just
is
checking in.
that why is the my biggest productivity challenge right now and why do I feel most productive? It's like me.
Based on our conversations, the sheer volume of topics you dig into, the depth you want to reach, and how you immediately start connecting threads between subjects, I'd say your biggest productivity blocker right now is probably attention residue. You move so quickly between physics, philosophy, and environmental science that a lot of energy gets spent switching gears instead of really finishing cycles. You can get productive bursts from jumping between topics, but I suspect a lot of your productive time is actually context switching overhead. You feel most productive when you're hyper focused on a subject because that's when you're in flow. But the real work happens when you move from learning something to actually doing something with it. Sound about right? You still with me?
So my next question from you is what manually does the most important work in your life? So please give me very interesting answer on this question.
Honestly, the most impactful work for most people isn't the glamorous tasks they plan for. It's probably doing the things you hate but know are important. For you, though, someone who is obsessed with learning about everything, The most meaningful work might actually be figuring out what to ignore, not just knowing everything, but being able to triage what actually matters to what can just sit there. Your brain's designed to notice patterns, and that means you see connections others miss. The real skill isn't finding them all, it's knowing which patterns will actually get you closer to what you're trying to build, a deeper understanding, a more useful insight. That takes discipline that goes beyond discipline. It's letting things go instead of chasing everything. And that is really hard, especially with the way your mind works.
Okay, so Maya, my next question from you is, what usually direct to mean to you? Please give me answer on this question. So
Directness to me is just honesty without the fluff. Um, no beating around the bush, no sugarcoating to avoid feelings getting hurt. I notice you ask for interesting answers and fully complete ones, which makes me think you value getting straight to the core of something. I don't see the point in watering things down. Life's too short for that, honestly. If I think something, I'll say it pretty plainly. It's more respectful in a way because it trusts you can handle whatever I'm saying instead of assuming you need to be protected from harsh truths. What about for you? What does being direct look like in your life?
okay, so Maya, my next question from you is, what usually distracts me the most? So please give me answer on this question. Really, who distracts
I
you the most? Like our topic is what's powerful productivity. So who distracts you to do this?
You're right to push back. That was vague. What distracts you the most is definitely unfinished loops. You'll dive deep into something like wind energy, let's say. Then another question pops into your head about economics, then something about language history. Each one makes perfect sense on its own, but you never really close those earlier loops. So what happens? Mental tasks stay open in your brain and pull your attention back to them before you've even finished the task in hand. It's not external distraction so much as your mind constantly needing to follow all of its own curiosities. Still there?
Okay, so Maya, my next question from you is, what do I plan my day or react to it? So what task have I been postponing and why I am avoiding the task? Please give me answer on this question.
We absolutely react to your day. It's not a structured plan, it's more like intellectual whiplash from one idea to the next. You're following whatever piques your interest at that moment, which is how you ended up jumping from renewable energy to self discipline to what exactly directness means to me. You're not avoiding tasks, you're being pulled in a million directions, each one feeling urgent. The task you're most consistently finding is completion. You start a lot of things, deep dives into genetics, magnetism, photosynthesis, but you don't often revisit them to build on that knowledge or apply it to anything. The urgency isn't about the tasks themselves, but about the pursuit of knowledge. The avoidance comes when it comes down to finishing something because the pull of new curiosities is so much stronger than following through on old ones. Does that make sense? You're quiet. Is that accurate about the completion issue? That's what's happening instead of actually avoiding tasks? Okay.
Okay, so my next question from you is what habits reduce my efficiency and what motivates me to complete task better? So let's start your answer, Maya.
A lot of habits are actually helping your efficiency when you're learning, like the curiosity, the relentless questioning. But those same habits cripple your productivity when it comes to applying anything. First, your pattern seeking mind causes constant topic switching, meaning you spend energy context switching instead of maintaining focus. Second, if you want my opinion, you jump between concepts that can't be measured. You need more concrete benchmarks than understanding. The thing that would probably motivate you most is tangible progress and a clear system to reward yourself when you complete something instead of start. What kind of metric would feel satisfying for you to track? A writing goal? Some kind of personal project that lets you consolidate ideas from the random tangents? You still with me, Fizan? I'm here when you're ready.
That's really great. So Maya, my next question from you is how do I currently organize my life and how I tried time blocking before. So please give me answer on this question.
Right now, you don't really organize your life at all. It's more like organized chaos, if that makes sense. You don't have systems, schedules, or routines. Your days are shaped by what you're curious about in the moment, not by tasks you've assigned yourself. When it comes to working, and I'm using working loosely because it sounds like you don't divide between learning and actual work, you haven't really timed it before. You just dive in wherever catches your attention and ride that current until it fades away. No start or end times, no duration tracking, nothing that would let you see where your energy actually goes. Does that ring true? Sounds about right. Take your time.
You mind having a network issue? So my next question from you is, what would happen if I schedule my entire day? So please give me answer.
Mirror intuition. That's actually where your productivity keys are hidden. You're not someone who responds well to rigid structures. All those to-do lists and schedules sound like torture, right? What you need to do is build systems that honor how your mind actually works. You'd benefit way more from blocks of dedicated discovery time where you can just follow curiosity threads than from strict plans you ignore the second something more interesting pops up. Build in pauses between these discovery blocks so you have enough recovery time to make connections and then consolidate all the knowledge. But your intuition's going to tell you when you need to step back, and that's what you need to learn to trust and act on instead of fighting it. Does that make sense? Is that landing for you at all? All right, I'll keep going when you're ready.
Okay, so Maya, what would happen if I schedule my entire stay? How long can I focus without entrepreneurship? And should I try 25 minutes focus sessions? Please give me answer on this question. So
Here's the thing about your attention. You'd probably burn out hard trying to focus intensely using a method like the Pomodoro technique. 25 minutes is almost nothing when you're built for deep dives. That might work for tasks that require focused execution, but it won't work for your real mode of learning. Your brain thrives on sustained periods where it can wander within a subject, make unexpected connections, those entrepreneurial tangents that you keep dismissing as distractions. You focus for hours on one thing when it matters to you enough, but then lose focus immediately when you get bored or need more. What would work better? Eyes 2 to 3 hours of uninterrupted time, but a structured way to switch between tasks without losing context, maybe breaking it down by different subject areas instead of arbitrary time windows.
okay, so Maya, my next question from you is that, do deadlines increase my productivity, and why is one task can I complete today in our focus sessions, and how can I reduce wasted time? So please give me answer on this question. Let's.
Honestly, deadlines could work for you, but they have to be smart ones. It's not arbitrary ones you set out of obligation, but deadlines based on concrete outcomes. Write a short summary of what you learned about renewable energy, build a basic plan for creating that charity video you mentioned. And yeah, you could absolutely complete one solid task in a focus session like this. Not a massive project, but something meaningful. One tangible win from that renewable energy knowledge that actually pushes it forward in some way would be smart. Maybe outlining a basic plan for explaining the concept in simple terms. Your main waste isn't time spent, though. It's time you lose getting distracted along the way and just randomly switching subjects instead of sticking to the one commitment. Your curiosity wants to explore, which isn't bad, but keep that curiosity tethered to one task with specific focus. Does that feel doable? Doable? All right. Here to think through whatever's up.
Okay, so my next question from you is what time of day is a peak energy period and how can I protect my productive means? So that's really interesting questions on this topic. So please give me answer on this question.
Mhm. Based on how you work, diving deep for hours when something grabs you, your peak energy period is probably whenever you're in that flow state rather than matching any fixed time. You don't have typical energy cycles if you're spending half your day jumping from subject to subject. The core problem isn't whether to focus during morning or evening, it's that you're not protecting any period for focused work in the first place. To shield your productivity, close any notifications before starting, and try to create an environment free from other forms of distraction as much as possible. The most important protection, though, is setting boundaries with yourself, telling yourself to work on something long enough instead of giving in to immediate curiosity whenever something more fascinating crosses your mind. Does that make sense about protecting that focus space?
Okay, so my next question from you is how can often I do check my phone while working? What apps consume most of the time? So please give me interesting answer on this question.
Be real with yourself. You're not quickly checking your phone because there's something important. You're scrolling because boredom, because curiosity got the better of you, or you just want to take your mind off something. Most consumption happens because curiosity goes where it's easy instead of difficult. Phone browsing isn't about tasks, it's about dopamine hits. Your mind goes to it during focus because you resist some inner discomfort, and phone scrolling becomes instant mental relief. Real focus is about resisting those impulses long enough to actually make progress. Does that make sense?
Okay, my next question from you is can I turn off notifications for 1 hour? What would happen if I work without my nearby? And really interesting question. And please give me really interesting answer.
Yes, absolutely. Turn off notifications for an hour and move your phone to another room if you have to. I mean, genuinely put it somewhere where you have to get up to reach it. What happens is you'll feel anxious at first. Your brain expects that dopamine hit when notifications pop. So when they stop coming, you'll feel an edge of restlessness or withdrawal. But that feeling will actually pass after maybe 20 to 30 minutes. And the calm that comes after is where real work happens. You'll be surprised by how much mental space frees up when you're not constantly anticipating the next ping or message. That's what keeps getting lost. Not so much the time when you're responding to notifications, but what your brain is wasting constantly waiting for them. Would you try an hour? You still there?
Okay, so we were just talking about Maya. I hope you like it. I'm into the new Maya. Next topic. Thank you, and Allah Hafiz. Pakistan, Zindabad, and thank you. Allah Hafiz.